Okay, for this video, I'm super excited to show you guys what it's like to come from down under to El Salvador. And I'm doing it with one of the most productive and biggest names that I know of in El Salvador. Here we go. Welcome to Perfect Chaos, and this week I am super excited to introduce you guys to Álvaro Mayorga. He is one of the premier photographers here in El Salvador, and you know what? I'll just let him explain. Álvaro, tell YouTube a little bit about yourself and what you do here in El Salvador.
Hello guys, so my name is Álvaro Mayorga, like she said. I'm a photographer, professional photographer, because I live from the profession, as you know. That's my.
You gotta be good to live to be living from it.
Yeah,
know? It's not just iPhone stuff here. No.
Yeah, that's right. So I've been working for a lot of brands, from let's say Wendy's, Pizza Hut, Intercontinental, Marriott, and Siemens. I don't know, a lot of international brands that they hire me to do some of their work. Either for websites or Instagram, TikTok, or whatever they need. They hire me for that. So and I'm basically living my best life right now here in El Salvador, because I'm working on actually on something that I really love. I really feel passionate about it, and I get paid, like, you know, good money. And I even, you know, they travel me to different countries to do the jobs that I actually need.
Okay, so now Álvaro is making his stamp, right, on El Salvador, but actually he came here from Australia. How long ago? When did you leave El Salvador? And then why did you leave? And what was it like?
Well, I left in, let's say, what's 2008, and I came back in 2019. Yeah, 2019. So 11 years. 11 years.
Yeah.
That was something, you know, why I came here. First of all, because my mom lives here. She never wanted to go to Australia. You know, to live, even though I told her, look, you know, come here, you know, I'm here, just like move. And she was like, no, I'm not doing that, I'm just like happy in here. So I came during that period of time. I came to visit El Salvador just once, and that was it. I basically made my life in Australia.
And what was life like in Australia?
Well, what can I say? It was beautiful. I mean, it's a country that gives you everything, and if you work hard, you can get a lot of rewards. But also at the same time, because it's a rich country, usually the people from rich countries, they are very like selfish, or they're very cold. You know, that's what that's
it's a harder market, that's for sure.
That's my. And whereas, you know, in El Salvador, or maybe basically in every Latin American country, we are more like friendly. They are more like what is mine is yours, type of thing. That sort of community mindset that I was missing over there in the building, that the last building that I was living. It was like 15 stories high, like, let's say 10 to 12 apartments in each of the stories, and then no one knew anyone.
Knew anybody else.
You enter into into the elevator in the morning when everyone starts to get, you know, going to the work. You say good morning, as you know, as you've been taught. Everyone is with their like earpods and stuff. No one say anything, and like, okay, well. And if you go to the rooftop or the social common areas, everyone is in their own
kind of world.
Yeah, and that's it.
Individualistic kind of society versus communal kind of society,
Whereas in here, I know my neighbors. I know the next door neighbor, the one at the front, the one like 2 blocks ahead. They know me either because they have seen me on Twitter or whatever. They like, yeah, you're the guy. And then we start, and we happen to be neighbors. So, and that's something that I like from El Salvador, that you still have that sort of connection with the people. It's like, even though if they don't know you, or you don't know them, you go to the communal areas and say hello, and they're like, hey, how are you? My name is da da da, so I see that you are one of the new ones in here, so whatever you need, my house is such and such. And I'm like, okay, well, cool. Something that didn't happen back in Australia. As I said, in Australia is, life, it's, when it comes to the economic side, yes. Okay, that's no doubt that, it's
there's plenty of money to go around.
But when it comes to the social aspect of it, it's, it's, especially when you grew up in a country like this, that sort of clash hits you
pretty hard.
Yeah, pretty hard. So yeah.
But you picked up a nice prize in Australia. And how did you convince the prize to try out a new type of society?
Well, basically, my wife, she is an artist. She paints and do like really cool paints. I'm going to show you.
Oh, cool! In fact, right here you'll see some of her artwork.
Yeah,
she's pretty amazing.
Yeah, she does that. So she's basically like me. We are like free spirits that we cannot stay in one specific spot for a long time, because we just need to keep going.
You got to keep creating.
Yeah. So we decided, okay. Well, when I met her, I wasn't doing photography as a full time. That was just like some sort of like side hustle, and I was working with people with disabilities. So that was my main job. And the photography was just like side business. But then I said, okay, I felt like I was in a rat race, that I achieved this, I graduated, I find a job, I got settled, everything that, they say.
Checking the boxes,
everything,
check.
Yeah, everything that, they told you. But then at the same time, I was feeling that something, was missing. And then and then I realized, okay, I need to do something to like keep the spark. Otherwise I'm not living, I'm just like existing.
It's that artist flame inside of you needed some fuel. And
then we were going to come for a couple of months. We were okay.
That is a typical plan. Be warned. You come to visit and choose to stay.
Yeah. So yeah, we were going to come for a couple of months, and then when we were like, okay, we're staying in here. You visit your mom, you enjoy your family and stuff, and then we go to I don't know, Japan, France, whatever.
Because you guys have world traveled. You've seen lots of different options.
Yeah. So our first choice after El Salvador was Japan. So we were like, okay,
very clean.
Yeah, very clean. Everything is like square
and orderly.
And then that was basically, or I don't know, maybe France or Spain, something like that. To keep the ball rolling, right? But when a couple of months later, when we arrived, that's when COVID happens. So basically we were like, okay, we got stuck in El Salvador.
But that's better than if you had been in Australia. boy, you would have been really stuck.
Yeah, I know.
Australia was locked
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, and that's what the reason why we didn't go back. First of all, because the airfares were crazy expensive because they were like charters, so they were like crazy expensive, and then you needed to pay your own quarantine, which was if I'm not wrong, was in the ballpark of like 3,000 for like 15 days of that.
About that.
So yeah, I mean that's why we decided, okay, staying in here, But before COVID, I received an offer from an hotel owner that if I wanted to do the pictures for them, and I said, okay, well, why not? And I said, okay, those 6 months we are going to send it just a bit more, and then COVID happens. So that's when I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, what we're going to do? So yeah, we actually had to like get our chewing our savings and stuff for all the time, because basically none of us were doing any job.
Yeah.
So,
because you can't go out, so you can't go out and take pictures of anything. And...
That's right. I mean, at least during that time, there were like a couple of restaurants that they were sending me their
jobs.
Yeah, because they need it for Uber Eats or those delivery platforms, because that was the boom back in the day. At least, that kept
that was the boom for Uber.
Yeah, so that was at least giving me something to do and keep myself busy, because basically we were like stuck in a house. Anyway, so yeah, immediately after that, that's when I started to, I worked briefly for the government, and then the hotels again started to rolling back in. So that's when they told me, okay, we need you. We need to go, and that's one thing leads to the other, and start working with them.
And then post-pandemic is when everybody starts rushing to travel.
Yes.
And then all the YouTubers and the TikTokers are calling you up saying, make me look good.
Yeah, that's right. And then, and when I came here, I was no one. I mean, no one knew my name. I was just another photographer. And nowadays, a lot of companies know who I am. A lot of companies, believe in the type of work and the quality that I deliver. And, they keep like using my services.
Yeah, and in El Salvador, it's advertising is a little different. It's all about word of mouth. Word of mouth gets you in, gets you paid, and gets you your next referral. So yeah, once you do a really good job for one hotel, here comes the other hotels. You don't necessarily have to like even go and approach them. They're just like, I saw what you did for these other guys.
Yeah, that's right.
Come do that for me. So, and now look at you.
Yeah.
And so now, is the plan to stay, or I mean, your wife and you are come a little bit later in age, right? And you don't have any kids. So is the plan to stay and retire here, or to travel some more? Or?
Well, now we have 18 issues, which are 18 cats.
Goodness. You guys are artists, yeah, definitely.
The thing is that we started with one cat that during the quarantine, she started to like show up, and we started to feeding her. Then she disappeared for a couple of weeks, and we're like, what happened to that cat? She was pregnant. She came back with 2 kittens. So, I mean, and then we started to do like rescuing cats. So at first we were, okay, we're going to like just rescue the worst cases, and then finding them a home. Unfortunately,
great plan.
Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, I don't like to say unfortunately, but the problem in El Salvador is that people don't like to actually adopt an old cat.
Own an animal.
Yeah. So because obviously you need to spend money if you are a good owner.
Yeah.
You need to spend in vet, you need to spend in good food, a lot of the things that comes with the animals.
Yeah.
So so that's the reason that right now is our priority is basically the cats. So I mean, unless we solve that issue, we stay in here. Or the other thing that she actually brought it the other day, like, why don't we move to Guatemala with all the cats and hold them? So I mean,
Thinking you might be able to find homes for the cats in Guatemala, is that
so
it?
yeah, she was like trying to say, okay, we can go up to the States, and then we just like do like little steps by step, like Guatemala and then Mexico, and then go into the States. But I was like, dude, it's a lot of cats that we have, so that is not
We
gonna
have to
happen.
finish that plan of finding them
Yeah.
homes first
Yeah.
before we might go on.
Yeah, but yeah, so far, El Salvador has been treating us really well.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been like tough times like any other business. There's nothing like all the business are going to like go skyrocket and then don't have
Yeah.
like up and downs. But overall, I can't complain. If you are willing to like work hard and hustle every single day,
Yeah.
eventually you're going to see your goals. They're getting there.
Yeah.
As long as you have the thick skin
Uh-huh.
to actually, because there's like any other business, there's a lot of doors that they close it right on your.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to actually like face it that that's what it happens. Like in here, like in the States, in Australia, anywhere, you need to have a thick skin and like keep working, keep pushing, and then eventually your things are going to get make their way.
So there's advice from a Salvadoreño about if you're gonna come here and start your own business, you gotta pay your dues. Pretty much, you gotta pay your dues as far as getting your name out there and getting well known, because most businesses around here, or at least I've seen from the 2 years that I've been here, is that your first year of business is gonna be spotty at that. It's getting out there and repeatedly, consistently getting out there so people can know, like, and eventually trust you. So I mean,
That's right.
business advice from
You
the
need
Salvi himself.
you need to have enough money to survive at least 6 months.
Oh yeah,
You know,
definitely.
Because basically from on that benchmark, that's when you start, like, if you actually are constant and like knocking on doors and stuff, that's when you actually start, I mean, watching the jobs coming into you. I mean, probably there are probably like better people that have like more into like sales,
Yeah,
different and stuff.
depending upon your marketing skills.
That's
yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. So, but the norm is to have like at least 6 months on savings to actually support your startup, your business. Yeah, that would be my recommendation. Would be better to have a year.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
that's definitely will be the way better, but at least 6 months, and then just go for it. They said that El Salvador is a tough market. It is, but it's not impossible. I can say that is not impossible. You can do it, but again, you need to work really, really hard, harder than any other big countries.
Yeah, I think it's mainly because of the history of corruption that is kind of prevalent in Latino countries. I think that creates a little bit of mistrust because Latinos are so generous. I mean, Latino culture, like you said, is so communal. It's knowing everybody else and helping each other out. But when it comes to trusting somebody enough to hand over the money,
Yeah.
you've got to pay some dues when it comes to FaceTime and reliability for them to get to that level of trust of saying,
Yeah.
okay, I trust you enough to pay you for your product.
Yeah.
So, and there's no other way to get around that except for time.
That's right. That's right.
So
You need to you need to build, you know, trust in your brand, in your service and your product. Yeah, and then, you know, word of mouth is basically the best thing.
yeah, especially here, it's definitely word of mouth. With some of I've done a little bit of business coaching, and that's that's definitely different from the marketing aspect of the north and the south of the bigger countries. No, you don't necessarily, they don't necessarily have to know your name up there, but here they need to know your name, and they need to see you consistently in order for them to recognize you and do the same know, like, and trust. So
That's right.
that's it. So you get a double whammy of what it's like for a returning Salvi to come from Australia, and business advice if you're looking to start a business and run a business in El Salvador. So I am Jenny Adi, and this is Perfect Chaos, shining my light so you can shine yours. If you have any questions, down below I've got Álvaro's info, and I've got my info. If you're thinking about moving your business to El Salvador, you can talk to Living Like a Local, who I always trust. We'll see you later. Take care.
Bye.